Hi, welcome back to my YouTube channel. Today I'm going to give a quick update on some of my 2023 goals. The two goals I wanted to give updates on are reducing my use of pornography and also creating holy places wherever I go. So I'm excited for this video and the things that I'm sharing with you because I've made real big progress in those things. So yeah, let's get into it. I've been trying to work on these goals in three ways. The first way is that I've been seeing a therapist. The second way is that I've been hosting parties. And the third way is that I've been attending the temple more frequently. So let's get into those things now. So I've been seeing a therapist for about 3 months. And actually, a couple days ago, I met with my therapist for the last time because both of us felt that I had met the therapeutic goals that I was hoping to get. And which is really awesome. And it's also kind of sad because I've loved chatting and getting to know my therapist, and I really appreciate the therapeutic space that he provided for me, and also for his help in helping me to heal through the shame that I had and maybe still have of being gay and also of my use of pornography. So he's been awesome, and I really recommend anyone who has a similar goal of reducing pornography use to find a good therapist that you can have a good connection with and that can help you in a compassionate and empathetic way. Those things are super important. And yeah, I think in addition to him having that, he was able to help me have that for myself too, which I think is really helpful in doing this kind of long-term for my whole life without my therapist always there. My therapy sessions have been awesome, and I'm really grateful for my therapist. The next thing I've been doing is I've been hosting parties. So as we all know, as adults, it can be really difficult to meet new friends and to make new connections. And so I decided that I would start learning how to host parties where people can make those connections and meet new friends. I've hosted 2 parties now, and they've both been awesome. I'm so grateful for the people that have come. So basically what I do is I invite 15 to 20 people from different circles of my life. I provide some simple drinks and refreshments, and we all wear name tags, and we show up with the expectation that we're all here to get to know each other and to make connections. And we do that by having a couple of rounds of icebreaker questions. So basically everyone stands in a circle. I say the icebreaker question and then I answer it, and then we go around giving our answers. And then after everyone has given their answers, we kind of break out and just mingle amongst ourselves. And about 20 to 30 minutes later, we will gather together and do a second round of icebreaker questions. And so it's been really fun, and I've loved seeing my different friends from different circles meet each other. And yeah, I think this has really helped me in a lot of ways. So as an introvert, this hobby is really interesting because it takes me out of my comfort zone, having so many people at my house for a party that I'm hosting. So it's a little bit exhausting, but it's so fulfilling and it's so great. It's really just a fun and casual night, but it's also kind of classy too because we're just there to socialize, and I've really enjoyed it. So yeah, if you live in the area and you're interested in attending one of my parties, please let me know because I would love to invite you to the next one. The third thing that I've been doing is I've been attending the temple more frequently. So before I get into that, I just wanted to say that I am aware that not everyone has had or will have, great and perfect and amazing experiences at the temple. It's a really difficult and complex thing going to the temple, and for some people it can be something that brings up a lot of negative emotions, and so I just wanted to let you know that I am aware of that. But I hope that for everyone we can get to a place where we feel comfortable going to the temple again, and I hope that when you do, it's a positive experience because it's made a huge difference for me. A few months ago, I decided to leave my family ward and go to a mid-single adult ward, and I did so for a few reasons that I won't get into here, but one of the reasons was that I hoped that I would find more connection and more friends. And so when I first joined this new ward, I had a bit of worry and anxiety about the new bishopric and about the new ward members there. I didn't know how they would accept me being a gay member in their midst. And so I was a bit worried and a bit discouraged about what that was going to be like for me. On a specific day that I was especially discouraged, I was scheduled to go to the temple, and a big part of me didn't want to go. I just didn't feel like it was, I just didn't feel like it was what I wanted to do, but I decided to go anyway, and I'm so glad that I did, because I hadn't gone in a good while, and I didn't know that they had updated the endowment session. But I went to do an endowment session, and I just loved the new changes that they made. Basically, the new changes for me let me more clearly see that the endowment and the plan that Heavenly Father has prepared for all of us really is out of love, and that the endowment, amongst all of the other things that we are given, are gifts from our Heavenly Father. And I just love that idea. So that experience was super positive, and it gave me the confidence to go forward with faith in my new ward, and it's been amazing. So I'm really grateful for that experience that I had in the temple, because it was Heavenly Father's way of showing me that He's aware of my situation and the worries and anxieties that I have, but He just assured me that things would be okay, and I'm so grateful that He did. So in addition to attending the temple more regularly, I also had the privilege of being set apart as a temple worker, and last week I was able to go for the first time to do a shift there. I was able to officiate in some of the temple ordinances, and the feeling that I got doing that, and the trainings that we were given that were focused on making the experience of the patron as uplifting and positive as possible, and then the smiles that people had on their face going through, just filled my heart with so much love for these people. And I know that it's love from Heavenly Father. Different people go to the temple for different reasons. They're all seeking different things. But regardless of what that is, my job is to help make it as comfortable and uplifting as possible for them. And so I had this overwhelming sense that I need to be my best self if I'm going to be helping these people by working in the temple. And so my desire to try to be more holy has definitely strengthened, and that's definitely helped me with my other goals for this year. So that basically wraps up this video. I just wanted to give a confidence boost to anyone who is working on these goals, that it is possible, especially with Heavenly Father's help. I know that working on goals can be a really big challenge for a lot of people, especially because a lot of us are really critical of ourselves, and having goals is kind of a reminder that it might be a reason for us to feel like we're not good enough, but that's definitely not the case. We can both love where we're at now and love where we can be with the atonement and with professional help and with the help of others. And I know that it's possible not to do everything, and there are a lot of things that we can't control, but I will say that we can do more with God's help than we can on our own. And the things that I would recommend for you, if you have similar goals as I do, is to find a real good therapist that you feel a strong connection to. Find more people to make more connections with in ways that are in line with your values. And then lastly, do the things that help you to feel close to God. And that might look different for different people, but try to do that thing, and I know that you'll find God in those things. So thank you so much for watching my videos. I love you so much, and I hope you have an amazing day. Bye.